All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in with me for another video. We're going to talk about some interesting topics, some things that I want to get off my chest, some things that I think a lot of you need to know, especially if you're in the business space. You definitely need to know this. So the things that we're going to be talking about, guys, is really the power of your mind overall as a blanketed subject or a blanketed statement. We're going to dive into a law of attraction, what you think about, how you attract it, overall, this whole existence as a human being. Exciting things, in my opinion. First up, a lot of you guys have heard about the law of attraction. A lot of you guys know about the law of attraction, right? But how well do you actually really know how it works? So listen, with the law of attraction, the common misconception is that, you guys hear it all the time. People say this all the time. The common misconception is that when you think about it, it just pops right by your doorstep. I mean, who really thinks that at the end of the day? Probably only people that have just heard about it like this week, the law of attraction, really, at the end of the day. Obviously, action is involved, guys. You can't just, you have to have action behind your thoughts and your affirmations. But listen, the other thing besides that, guys, huge misconception, and this one's legit and real. If you don't have a high vibration yourself, this isn't going to work for you. It just plain out won't work as effective in what it actually is, the law of attraction. You have to be high vibrational yourself. You have no power if you're low vibrational. If you guys are liking what we're talking about already, quick reminder, throw subscribe down below or like down below and subscribe and join the family. We're going to be talking about topics on e-commerce, Shopify dropshipping, but also real life stuff, guys. It's cool at the end of the day, learn about Shopify dropshipping and e-commerce because that's what I do. But at the end of the day, guys, we're all humans. We all have that in common. So no matter what you're in, you're going to learn something on this channel. I encourage you to join it. Now, obviously, like we're talking about the law of attraction. It can be very powerful, but it can also be very dangerous, guys. If you're thinking about something negative all the time, if you're in fear, thinking about the current events specifically, I'm just astonished by some people, family, distant relatives, whatever it may be, people that are not necessarily in my close immediately circle with friends or whatnot in my life. This is family that I don't see all the time. I'm astonished by their belief systems. It's really shocking and scary at the end of the day because listen, they have no idea what this means and how the power of your mind dictates your reality and your experience in life. Things that raise your vibration naturally, retention, as a man especially, retention. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. We're not going to dive too much into that topic, but I'm just letting you know, research about that. That's going to change your life. I promise you guys. So retention, obviously, guys, the positive mindsets that you put into your, the affirmations that you put into your mind. This literally is a supercomputer. Whatever you're programming into your supercomputer, you're going to experience everything. Music is a programming, affirmations, literally your brain is a supercomputer, like I'm saying, and whatever you're feeding it, you're programming it. Feed it positive thoughts and positive affirmations, self-belief thoughts. What is going to happen? You're going to be more confident as a person. You're going to get out of life what you want. You're going to do life your way. This is so rampant, especially with younger people. They have people, outside sources, outside forces, whatever it may be, getting into their own brain and their own thought beliefs and their self-belief system. The thing that I'm trying to get out with that point in being right there is you walk into a house seeing your relatives. This happened to me. You see your relatives and with the current events going on with this year, people watch the news all day long, fear monger, all that stuff. They get so fear in such a low vibration. Fear is one of the lowest vibrations, guys. Why do you think this is all set up? This is all set up. It makes perfect sense once you understand, what I'm going to be talking about in this video and things that we have already mentioned in this video. Things like the news, I don't watch any of that stuff, guys. It's fear mongering. That is a low vibration. I only stay on high positive vibrations, and that's what I'm on within life, and I'm gonna track that within my life. So going back to, you walk in the room, you see some old friends or family that you haven't seen in a while, and the first thing, this is what happened to me, the first thing that they're gonna mention is what's going on, the negative stuff, blah blah blah. You gotta watch out. What does that do for you? The only thing that does, guys, is put you in a low vibration. Fear. That's the only thing that it does. That is just not needed. That statement is just not needed at all. And that's kind of the programming that other people are on, especially that's what I've seen in my existence. And this happens with my own family. It's not saying I don't love my family, I love my family, but if you have something that's literally changed your life, it's made you more positive, have more energy, you're being a better person, you're better with your relationships with your immediate circle and people that you really care about in life and want to, you enjoy their presence, you're better with those people. Overall, you're more positive. Who is going to tell you that that's wrong? And that's essentially what I see a lot of, especially, spiritual people or people that are just trying to raise your vibration in life. I see that all the time, especially early on in people's journey and stages when they finally learn about things like the law of attraction, the universal laws, and the power of your mind, obviously, like we're talking about. When they first learn about that, it's kind of in the infancy stage, guys. It has a high potential for an outside force or a negative force, a negative opinion, somebody that is negative, and they put that onto you. I don't want that. That's your programming, not mine. I'm not saying your guys's, but I'm saying the negative person, the pessimist, the negative person, I do not want anything to do with them. And I can tell pretty much immediately, just off the energy in the room and the energy of a person. You can really tell, guys, when you're high vibrational as well, when you really put in the work to raise your vibration, you're going to be able to tell immediately. It is life, guys. At the end of the day, you're going to run into people that are negative, and that's something that you can't necessarily avoid your whole entire life unless you don't see anybody, right? Because it's so rampant. And listen, at the end of the day, is it that person's fault because they don't know better? Not necessarily. It's not necessarily their fault, but I know one thing for sure. I'm not in the low vibrational, and I do not accept that no matter what the circumstance. At the very least, I'm making these videos to try to hopefully open people's eyes up to the power of the mind and the power of being on a positive, high vibration, reaffirming yourself and believing in yourself, building self-worth. So many people within this world have low self-worth, low self-esteem. They don't believe in themselves. What is that going to do for you guys? Literally nothing. That's not going to do anything for you. You're going to be at the mercy of other people dictating your life, essentially. Take power, take control of your life. The number one way to do that is raise your vibration. So if you guys have never heard about this stuff, I'm going to kind of give a little example, and we're going to dive into more of the law of attraction. So essentially, the law of attraction is like attracts like. If you're positive, you're going to bring and attract positive things within your existence in life. If you're negative, why do you think negative people are so negative all the time? They're bringing more negative BS to them. Essentially, that's the end all be all. That's the end of the day. They're attracting more negativity because they're on that wavelength. They're on that vibration, and that is how this universe works. Now, I'm not claiming to know every single thing about this topic and every single thing in the universe. I'm not claiming to know that. All I know, guys, is that this has changed my life for the better times infinity. It literally has changed my entire life, my mindset. Think about it. If I'm saying joy and optimism and love, that's a high vibrational versus, I don't even want to say it, bad, hate, and all that's low vibrational words. You can literally see it, and that's the perception that you put on the word, obviously, as well, but you can feel that in the air. That's why when you walk into a room, they say you could cut the tension with a knife in there. So you could feel the energy in the room. It's real, guys. That is what it is. You guys are feeling the energy in the room. And literally, us humans, I have a hard time nowadays trying to connect with somebody, not just connecting with people, but I'm saying connecting with somebody that understands this same thought. This one particular thought, I have yet to really find somebody that thinks like that. And that thought is essentially, what even is this? If you really take a second and think, I'm in this body right now. What is this? You start to question things, and you start questioning the programming that has been going on your entire life, guys. And I don't want to get too out there with you guys. If you're still with me with this video, then I don't even have to bring that up at the end of the day. Like I mentioned, retention is so important, especially as a man. That is your life force. That is your seed. Why are you wasting it everywhere? That's the number one tip. If you're a dude right now and you're watching this video and if you feel guilt and shame and you feel weak and you don't feel high energy, you don't feel strong, and you don't have self-belief, you need to look up retention, and you need to do it for at least a week. Don't give up on yourself. If you actually do it for a week, it's not too hard, guys. The only reason you guys say it is too hard is because of things and the traps, whatever, the things that you allow into your life that are distracting you, and therefore putting, basically programming your own mind to think, oh, that's okay. No, I can do that. That's a normal thing in life. Most likely you've heard other people talk about this, guys. If you failed yourself within your journey, that's on you, and take that responsibility. This goes for women as well. Not being lustful, and that is a low energy, low vibrational, opens you up to low energy things, guys. Obviously that goes for men and women. You should do more research on that. This is not going to be the channel about retention necessarily. I'm just letting you know that is probably the most powerful, shortcut to raising your vibration. Now, along with that, guys, the foods that you eat is probably, in my opinion, one of the biggest things as well. The foods you're eating. I heard Charlie Rocket talk about this idea, and I know that he's learned it from, I think, Dr. Sebi. And there's tons of people that talk about this idea. Is essentially, if you're eating a food, you can say, well, is this alive or is it not? I heard Charlie talk about in a podcast, a Cliff Bar. Is that alive? No, it's not. It can sit on the shelves for months on end, years on end. Who knows? But it's not alive. So, if you start thinking in terms of that, guys, if you start questioning everything around you, a lot of you won't. Everybody that's watching this right now, most of you won't. Most of you say, oh, this guy's crazy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm just going to continue to live my life. This is real life. What are you talking about? Question everything around you guys. If you guys feel inspired to learn more about this, definitely there's more videos out there. This is not the end all be all video for this topic. There's more videos out there that you can learn. Bob Proctor, Foster eBay, just off the top of my head, I just mentioned those two names. Those two particular individuals they've helped me a ton. And there's many more other people, NLE Choppa even. I know a lot of you guys, younger people, listen to his music beforehand, but he's going through a spiritual awakening, and that's another example. Kanye West is one example that comes to mind as well. Now, just going off that idea right there, well, I said Kanye West and the Joe Rogan podcast. Now, what happened when Kanye West went on to the Joe Rogan podcast? I saw it on Instagram, and I don't even follow any meme pages or really anything like that is going to be all newsworthy or news media like that. I don't follow really anything like that, but I even saw some people thinking, oh, Kanye's crazy, or I saw actually a video on YouTube about Kanye West's interview with Joe Rogan, and it was a 50-second clip, and Joe Rogan said something, and then Kanye West said, God, 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 because they clipped all the words that said God. But just things like that, guys, is even a programming in itself. And what does that do? That necessarily, you let that get into your own mind. Maybe you're somebody that watched that interview. This is just one example, and I don't want to talk about Kanye West all day long, but that's just one example. If you guys did watch that podcast and you saw, oh, he's talking about some cool things, some good things, this is positive, and then you see one comment, some dude that says some negative things about that, and then that interferes with your own thought, and then you start saying, oh, maybe he doesn't know what he's talking about. Maybe he's crazy. I'm just going to go back to my life. That's it right there. And so much of this goes on, guys, that you can't even fathom. It's insane. That's why I don't watch the news. I don't watch any of that, guys. If you cut all of that out, even for a week, it will change your life, because you're gonna rely on the energy and self-belief that you channel from the divine creator. And I don't want to get too esoteric, but at the very least, I'm glad that you watched this video so that I can spark that idea in your head at least. And I'm not trying to program you or anything like that, guys. I'm only letting you know that this has changed my life for the better of things that you don't even have to know about, these esoteric ideas. The very minimum, it's made me a more positive and more productive, have more energy, more positive and productive person at the end of the day. And that's great. That's what a lot of people drink caffeine all day for. And I cut out caffeine about a month and a half ago. I haven't had more energy in my entire life. Some other things like maca root. If you guys watch my previous videos, maybe they haven't released yet, but I do maca root, spirulina, and a protein shake every day. that has boosted my energy like insane. I retain, of course, and I do not want to get into all those topics too much. You guys don't need to know about that. You guys just need to understand that these are what I'm, the topics and the ideas that I'm using and implementing, actually things that you can actually implement in your life. I'm actually doing it, putting in the work. It is work. Anything that you want out of life that's going to be good and worth it is going to be involving some work. So, writing affirmations in your journal, retaining, cutting all that, just all the distractions out of your life. Like I said, at the end of the day, most of you just won't act on this video, but the few that do, thank you very much. This will help you. I'm going to be talking about more of this because I think you guys need to know this. I know that you need to know this because I did. I learned about this stuff. I started studying the power of the mind, studying up on the universal laws, raising my vibration. That's something you can literally apply in your life, and you're going to see it, guys. So I appreciate you so much for tuning in with me all the way here. You made it to the end of the video. I hope that you act upon this. At the end of the day, I hope you do. I really do. And unless I wouldn't have made the video. So stay connected with me, guys. I appreciate you for tuning in with me. If you guys want more of this content, comment down below. Let me know what you liked about this video, the topics. I brought up a couple different ones, but let me know what you liked most about this video. Things that you didn't know. Comment down below, let me know. I would greatly appreciate that. With that being said, guys, throw a like on this video, subscribe down below, join the family. Since you made it all the way here, I want you in the family. You're chosen one, you really are. You're very special. I promise you, no matter who you are, we all are special. You're human beings. Like I was saying, we're in this crazy meat suit, essentially. Question everything, guys. And if you want to learn more about, if you guys want to see more content from me, like I said, join the family. I'll see you in the next